video on how to understand a proofreader. Now, many of you watching this are authors, or aspiring authors, or closet authors, or whatever. Well, any author who has published a novel before knows that writing the novel is the easy part. The hard part is editing. Editing a novel consists of three main parts: content editing, copy editing, and finally proofreading. The common misconception is that content is the hardest while copy and proof are a breeze. However, this is false. While it's true that content is probably the most time-consuming and mind-numbing, copy and proof are no walk in the park. In fact, proofreaders have come up with something akin to a language solely used for proofreading, and today I want to teach you how to distinguish a proofreader's marks on a page. Okay, so let's say you've written a book. You've gone through the content editing and the copy editing and you're feeling pretty good. Then you get back a page that looks something like this. It looks like your editor took his red pen and just bled all over the page. They killed your manuscript. And then you take a closer look and you see that these marks that look something like some strange form of hieroglyphs, these actually all mean something. And if you can figure out what they mean, proofreading will feel less like translating a dead language and more like perfecting your English, which is the goal. Okay, so first thing to do is to find your Rosetta Stone. You need a key to tell you what all these strange little marks mean. Most, if not all, novels are edited using the Chicago Manual of Style. In the second chapter, there's a key. This tells you what different marks mean and how they will appear in the text. You'll see that this squiggle actually means delete, and this little TR in a circle means transpose, or switch these two elements around. I suggest that authors spend some time studying this sheet, but also I laminate mine and keep it handy throughout proofreading my novel. Now, this textbook is pretty hefty and not everyone wants to buy it, so it's free online. You just go to chicagomanualofstyle.org, and to get to the key, you click Tools and then click Proofreading, and it'll take you right to a page that shows all of the proofreading marks. Okay, so the second thing you need to understand is that there are two marks for every one edit. There's the mark that appears in the text, then a corresponding mark in the margin. It will look something like this. Another good thing to understand is that a proofreader will edit line by line. So let's say you have a line that ends with a word split down the middle. Like wonderful, we see it ends with between the E and the R, and there are several marks for that one word. So you'll see that your editor wants you to slash through the hyphen here and add an R. So they'll have the delete symbol and then an R for insert R, and then they'll have the insert hyphen symbol. And then on the next line, you'll have the slash through the R telling you to delete the R and then leave the full as is. And what this means is that since there are 5 marks for this one word, you understand that the editor edits line by line. And since the word splits, they need multiple marks for the multiple lines. That's why sometimes proofreaders are also called line editors. Okay, so another good thing to understand is that there are some unusual and rare, but still very useful marks in proofreading. For example, stet. When you see stet, it means that your editor messed up and that your manuscript was just fine the way it is. Stet means let it stand or leave it be. Another rare but convenient mark to understand is the pound sign, or more commonly known as the hashtag symbol. This means insert a space here. This is more common than stet, but still rare. Finally, a third rare mark that you need to understand is the set question mark. What that means is simply just put in a question mark, but it will always have set in a circle right before the question mark, and the reason for this is because before they had Microsoft Word or computers or typewriters, they would have to set those little lead pieces in, and they would have to set the question mark. And so you have the set in the circle right before the question mark. Really, it's just a carryover from an older age. Okay, tip number 5. There are times when you need to ignore a proofreader's marks. These times are rare and few and far between, but sometimes if there's a technical term or your proofreader doesn't exactly understand what you're saying, they will make some marks, but you will have to set them straight and say, no, this is what I really wanted to say. A good proofreader will actually contact you as the author and ask you about what you meant there so that they don't have to make marks that you'll have to ignore. Finally, the last tip is to pay attention to reoccurring problems. if you see several of the same marks, for example, maybe this caret with a comma underneath it, it means that you're making similar mistakes several times. So this comma mark means that you probably want to go back over the comma rules before submitting your next manuscript. And if you read carefully, you can learn how to fix your own mistakes, and then when your next manuscript gets proofread, you'll have less red ink all over that page, and you'll be able to proofread faster and head towards that publication date at top speed. Hopefully, after these 6 tips, proofreading will feel less painful, and now that you know how to translate the marks, it'll feel less like translating a dead language. Thank you for watching, and hope you enjoy the rest of the Dual M site.